Hi, I'm Amy T. Meyer, and this is Ed Parco, and we're here with.
Wow, so shocking every time, I tell you.
Just different, right?
All right, so what are we talking about today, and who's supposed to be on in a little bit?
Okay, so we have a really good friend of mine. Her name is Lisa Hallett, and she's the co-founder of Wear Blue Run to Remember.
And what is
And
Wear Blue Run to Remember?
so I'm going to let her actually give the history of the group.
Okay.
But I
What is
will
it? How about
say,
this? What is it to you? How about that?
so for me, it's been a wonderful remembrance every week of those who have given the ultimate sacrifice for our country. And
Female
it's
people who have done this, correct? Women.
and I
It's
do.
women, right? We're doing this. We're the ultimate sacrifice that a woman has done, not the ultimate
Nope,
sacrifice. Everybody,
no,
everybody during this period of time.
everybody.
Okay.
They know all of them. So actually, we have only separated the women's service last year and this year. So from the beginning of this group, um, it's always been here in DuPont, Washington, and every single Saturday at 9 o'clock in the morning at Powder Works Park, we come together and we honor those service members that died in action that weekend.
Okay.
So every weekend is different, and it has been for years and years.
See,
And
I was in the assumption it was just a female who had passed away. I'm sorry.
so the event that's coming up on March 23rd, the first female who died in combat that was um, honored to have died in combat is Specialist Lori Piestawa, and she died March 23rd. And I cannot remember. I don't know. I want to say 2007, but I'm not 100% certain of the year. And so since then, 177 women have died in combat since 2001. And so Wear Blue Run to Remember is for the families of the fallen, for service members like we do. We have so many service members every week that come out and do these steps with us. And so Lisa has just been this amazing woman that, through her own story, which she'll get into, how she created this group, and it's all across the U.S.
That's
And
my next question. Yeah.
yes, so there are chapters all across the U.S. There's kind
Is
of
there
signature
particular
ones.
places, like, I mean, in California, is there like every city, or is it like in every region? Do you know, or do we have to wait till she comes on?
I believe the chapters that are the most active are the ones that are close to military installations. And so, like, they do a big Marine Corps marathon, they do the Army 10 miler. And so it's very much getting families of the fallen to kind of heal through exercise and through community. I will say that much. And for me, like you had asked, for me, this has been a real staple for my family for the years, for when my husband's deployed, for when, I'm remembering different friends and things like that. It's a beautiful thing, and it's free. It's every single week. It's very pet and children friendly, and it's really neat.
All right. So it starts the 20
3rd of March
March,
for
and
the
it goes,
Piestawa Challenge.
and it goes for how long?
For 1 week. So you and I,
So just
we're
in
going to
one
do
week, we have to do, what was it, 10 miles?
177 miles as a team, but
As
we
a team
can
that
have,
each person has to do so many of them?
right. So we
Okay.
want to have a team of 8 so that we're not
Does it have to
doing,
be running, or can it be like cycling? Can it be like swimming? Can it
there's
be
a
like
whole
rowing?
conversion. Yep. And she has it all worked out, or her team has it all worked out. And everybody on her team is exceptional and amazing,
All right.
fun
Well,
to
just
work
so
with.
people know, we're trying to go over this, but we're killing time because the lady who's going to be talking to us had a little family emergency and she's finishing it up. It should be on shortly. But I do want to know why it's so important to you. And that's why I asked you that question.
So, yes. So,
You're going to put the names on the wall again?
I might. I have to have a co-conspirator for that because.
What do you mean, a ladder?
It's not just the height. It's it's the spell. It's either I need to print it out and I could do it on my own. But last year, Pete was the computer guy spelling the names out so that I could do it. And what was crazy is the women he remembered and knew in service. And so that created huge conversations, both between him and I, and also coworkers here in my office. So we're going to bring Lisa in because I can see her.
Hold on here. Let's do this.
Yay! So this is my beautiful friend, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, team. How are you doing? So glad to be here.
Glad to be here. So I'm in my other studio. As you can tell, I got a green screen behind me instead of my actual screen. I don't know if you
Nobody
noticed
can
that.
tell that.
Sure you could, because I just did this.
Oh, okay. He has all the toys.
No, I just have two studios. So it's not toys. Anyway, Lisa, so the question I had for Amy that now is I'm asking you is, how did this all start?
Oh, I appreciate you asking. So Wear Blue started back in 2009. 5th Striker Brigade was a unit to Southern Afghanistan. And hard. And we lost 41 first that year to include
Lisa, you're breaking up. Are
okay,
you on,
let's try this again.
Are you on Wi-Fi or do you have your Wi-Fi on and not connected?
I am on Wi-Fi, but let's try it now. How's that? Is that better?
Try it again.
Yeah.
Let's just. Yeah, you're better.
How's that working? Is that better? Okay.
But I know you want to make her front and center, but I find that it's better if we do this when there's a Wi-Fi issue.
Okay.
All right, go ahead, Lisa.
Better. Sorry, gang.
No,
I'm a hot mess today.
Hey, whatever works to get you on.
I appreciate it. So we, 5th Striker Brigade deployed to Southern Afghanistan back in 2009 and lost 41 first. For me, especially, lost me.
Lisa, that's bad. Sorry. Every other word we're getting.
All right, let's try. Okay, how's this? I'm going to test with you guys real quick. Is that better? Can you hear my audio?
Yeah. We'll try it again. All right. So the whole thing, how it started. Sorry. She might have to go to computer.
No.
I'm sorry. Oh, you made her mad.
So maybe she's going to the computer.
Anyway, well, when she gets back, we're sorry. It's amazing how internet is a problem in this time of year of everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, earlier today I had somebody in New York and that was the same issue. They were on their computer, but it was Wi-Fi, and I told them we'll get rid of all the different windows and everything, and then it came back. So. What you looking at there, Amy? Stay on. Anyway, so.
Okay, so
we'll find out more when she comes back. I'm sure she will. All right, so until she comes back. All right, so Wear Blue. So it's for a week. The whole team has to do 117 miles.
77.
177. I'm trying to get rid of that. Just 177. So what do you normally do? Just split it up into. There's 8 people. Each person takes 20 miles or less.
Yep. So right. So and you have a week to do it. So Pete and I did between 3 and 5 miles a day. And we just met here at the office and hiked around here. One time we got lost. That was fun because he's a ranger. And so I had lots of, words to say about that. We're going to try.
Her back in. Are you there?
Oh, hey there.
Oh, much better. Yeah. Night and day.
Whew, man, I hope I am your most complicated podcast guest ever.
No, that's just Amy. So Lisa, let's try this one more time, and you tell me how this got started.
We had a very difficult deployment back in 2009, 2010. We lost a lot of friends and we were struggling. And so the community here in Home Soil started to run together. And the first time we met, it was a Burger King parking lot. We kind of awkwardly looked at each other, and then we went for a run around the airfield. And we didn't come together because we loved running. We didn't come together because we were best friends. We came together because of this real need that we had to honor, remember, support, really to do something tangible in a world that felt out of control. And so we came back together week after week, and we started to say the names of those soldiers that we had lost downrange. Then we started training to run a marathon together. And together we grew stronger. We created the space to speak their names and hold their lives and their legacies in our steps, and really to begin to move forward through and with a very difficult time in our lives. And when that unit came home from that deployment, we realized that they needed the same things that we needed: the space to heal, to grieve, to connect, to move forward, to remember. And that's where Wear Blue, Run to Remember was born. So now we are a global community that honors the service and sacrifice of the American military through active remembrance. We have communities in Iwakuni, Japan, San Antonio, Texas, and then right here in DuPont, Washington, outside the gates of Joint Base Lewis McChord. And so there are some communities in California, but it is really quite often near military installations or veteran-led in a community outside of that space.
Please don't take this wrong, but you look like a person, and the way you come across that you're a force to reckon with when you want something done.
You better believe it. I think military spouses are generally, as a community, a force to reckon with. We don't take no for an answer, and we know how to fight to get to make what happens. So I'll take this as a compliment. Thank you.
Yeah, I could just see that in you. Yeah. I'm going to ask a personal question because I see it behind you. Whose flag is that?
That's my husband, John's. And so that was presented to us in September of 2009, the day after my son's second birthday, and at my husband's funeral. John was killed on August 25th, 2009.
I'm sorry.
I appreciate that. I was married to the best, and we were just on a life fast forward.
War sucks. Anyway, next. All right. So you started this. It's healing the community, and it's huge now.
It is. It is.
So before we get into more of it, I also want to know what people can do to be, to get involved, what they can do. Because I'm in Modesto, California. Do you even know where that is?
I went to cheer competitions growing up in Modesto, California. So I know exactly where it is. It's hot. And
I never would have thought you to be a cheer person.
Well,
you just have that. Amy, you can get in here anytime. This is just not the Ed and Lisa podcast.
So, the first thing, visit the website, wearblueruntoremember.org. And it's learn more about the work we're doing, grab a blue shirt. And when you step out your back door, whether it's walking, running, cycling, rowing, lifting weights, just be intentional and purposeful about holding our service members, their families, and our families of the fallen in your steps. And we say at Wear Blue, we're for the fallen, for the fighting, for the families. But there's something really powerful when we come together as a community of support and really create the space that can effectively empower our families of the fallen, support our service members, veterans, and their families. And of course, remember the men and women who've made the ultimate sacrifice. So buy a Wear Blue shirt, join a community near you if you have one. Or we have some really special virtual challenges coming up, specifically, which is really exciting today on Women's Day, International Women's Day. We have launched the Piestewa Challenge registration, and it is open. And this March 23rd through 29th, we invite the community to form teams of up to 8 individuals and make a commitment to complete 177 challenge miles the final week of March. And while Wear Blue universally, honors service and sacrifice of all American service members. During Women's History Month, we really want to create the space to remember specifically women in military service. And we close the month with this special challenge to remember and honor the 177 women who have not come home from their combat tours since September 11th. And it is, as Amy mentioned, named in honor of Specialist Lori Piestewa, who's the first Native American woman to be killed in combat on foreign soil, as well as the first female service member killed in Iraq. And this March 23rd marks the 19th anniversary of her passing. But it really is a space to create a shared experience in a virtual environment. There's no cost ever to participate in Wear Blue. But I think there's something pretty powerful when we can turn those words, thank you for your service, into tangible, meaningful action. And so really, really proud and excited to have the community come together and do something to show up for our service members better and their families, through the Piestewa Challenge.
All right. And I threw the website on the screen for you.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah. Thanks,
So
Amy, for typing that ahead of time.
I was going to say, can you talk a little bit about some of the, other than the Piestewa Challenge and the circles every week, you have other programs as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So after the Piestewa Challenge, we invite the community, of course, to join us on Memorial Day, and we provide a hero match. So on Memorial Day and the weeks leading up to it, we invite the community to again visit wearblueruntoremember.org, and we'll commit to remember on Memorial Day. And whether it's moving half a mile or 100 miles, we'll provide the name and story of a fallen service member to honor with your steps. And so since the first days of the Vietnam War, our country has lost over 65,000 service members. And so this year we have a pretty big, hairy, audacious goal to make sure each of those service members, those over 65,000 service members, has an American taking purposeful steps in their honor. Stemming from that, of course, we still have those Saturday runs. Just that heart, that pulse of where we started was bringing together community in the shared experience, speaking the names of our fallen guys and gals, and then moving, right? And Amy, you spoke about it. It's remembrance, it's community, it's movement, it's support, it's healthy and inspired living. Within that, we're about to launch our youth mentorship program. So we pair children of fallen military with currently serving members of our armed forces in a run-focused mentorship. And it is so cool to see these kids, the ones really who are the ones who've carried the weight of war, grow healthier, stronger, and have the opportunity to learn about a life of service. So we pair each of these kiddos with a currently serving member of our armed forces or a recently separated veteran. And for 10 weeks, they train to run a 5K on Memorial Day and really build resilience and healthy coping mecknisms.
I think it's
go ahead, Amy.
Because it's it's the toddlers that I run behind. Because they gotta.
You mean that's who you beat? Is that who you beat? You mean you run faster than them?
No, they run faster than me. But so watching these initiatives that she's done through the years, I watched soldiers and younger children where, the kids running, well, you got to hold my hand, and just all sorts of just things that that service member is really loving being able to be that impactful. And it's so impactful to the children, but I think even the service members are getting huge impact feelings from it.
It's been pretty special to see the healing cycles complete in our service members in their give back to these kiddos. And I'm so grateful for all of those service members or those recently separated veterans who step up to be a mentor. The demands are big on our military. We ask a lot of a very few, and yet here they are every Saturday morning showing up for our kids. And I think that's the answer. People ask, we ask a lot of our military. We just ended our nation's longest war. We again have, 90,000 troops over in Europe right now. We just sent 6,000 more to Poland and, in the surrounding areas to respond to the crisis in Ukraine. And we ask a lot, and the community says, what can I do for our military? And it's as simple as showing up. And so I think Saturday mornings, the Piestewa Challenge, Memorial Day, this is the chance for our community to show up. Let your actions demonstrate your gratitude, and that this is not a community who stands alone, but a community who really stands in support of a grateful nation. So really, really honored and for these opportunities to intersect in this Wear Blue community.
Well, to be honest with you, Amy, I know you've been doing this for a year, but you did not sell it anywhere close to the way she sold it. So,
well,
I'm just saying, if I would have been doing it last year, if I would have talked to her, so maybe you get her on more often.
Okay, well, and I'll take that because I have heard her speak on a couple different stages, and I am always inspired. So, it does not hurt my feelings to say that I wasn't quite as good.
I didn't say that. I just said she just sold it a little bit better than you.
Okay.
There's passion in what she's selling. It's in her core. You can tell. And today has been. So I did a live earlier today. This is about me for a second, and it was a Junior Navy SEALs. So they have a program in Stanislaus County and in San Diego. I don't know if you know about this, where they get kids from high school to train to run the SEAL course one Saturday. Yeah, that's and they plan, they train from May, they train from March through May, and then they go down to Coronado and do it. And there's only two, there's a couple teams that do it from each area, but it's just amazing what they teach these kids by doing this. And it's not a funnel into the military. And I wanted to be clear when I was talking about it earlier today. It's like 53% of the people go to college, and they go to get and a few of them got their PhD, and then even after that, some of them go in the military, but 43% go in the military, 10% go in other things. So it's what I'm getting at is it's this kind of stuff, exercise, what we do to get it helps a lot, all of us. So even 100%. Fat guys like me.
It's so cool to hear about these kids who are testing themselves. And at Wear Blue, I'm surrounded by so many incredible athletes, and train for marathons and ultra marathons and these endurance events. And I think there's something so uplifting each day to check, what am I capable of? How hard can I push myself? And what else can I see? And it's like the power of movement really opens the doors to seeing the world. And everything that we achieve in the steps of a run or a physical challenge really creates a foundation and foreshadows what we can achieve in the rest of our lives, professionally, socially, and that. But we need these touch points. And I think physical movement is such a powerful touch point to launch off into all aspects of our lives.
And
so
I also
hear about those kids.
Yeah. And also it's about being uncomfortable. The sooner you're okay with being uncomfortable, and there's nothing comfortable about learning to run 26 miles or 13.1, whatever it is, there's nothing comfortable about that. It's so uncomfortable to get there. And so that just teaches you that the rest of your life, that anything that's uncomfortable is something you should do and strive to go past.
So, 100%.
Yeah.
I love
that.
And
I agree. Like my grandson's 5 and we let him run. Like what's lovely about the Wear Blue course, it's 3 miles, right? But there's some ways in which it could be less than. And when you have a 5-year-old, if the goal is his experience, then it's as long as he can do, because you still can't stop at any one given point. He has to finish either, 2 miles or 3 miles, basically, is where he's at. And it's neat to see him navigate through that space, which is uncomfortable. And grow up hearing about the service members and seeing the families and different things like that. I think it's really impactful for the community. So not even just military kids, but our community.
100%. I love that you bring it up. And just in general, we as a nation can all benefit from community. I know I felt really disconnected after, some of the isolation that we've had. But when I can fold into a Wear Blue community, I love that mix of generations. Our Vietnam veterans, we have, your grandson, 5-year-olds, and then everything in between. And it's the space where we can find that there's more that unites us than divides us. And anytime we can build those maybe cornerstones, I think we go back into our communities so much more successfully and impactfully. And I love that Wear Blue can be that space, but I love that generation that you bring out there, Amy.
All right. What do you need help with, Lisa? So I can get Amy to help you.
Sign up, come.
I actually just went on there and did it already. So
nice. Well, listen, I'm a man of action. That's good. Today is Women's History Month and International Women's Day in Women's History Month. And so it is a wonderful time to celebrate the incredible contributions of our female service members. We have almost 400,000 women right now who raise their right hand to wear the cloth of freedom. And for me, I am in awe of the bravery of these women, their love of country. And I cannot shake every one of their hands, but what I can do is I can join a team, build a team, and get out there and challenge myself physically and achieve something. And you know what? At the end of the day, I can take the time and I can learn the names and the stories of the 177 women who didn't come home. And everything's a little bit scarier when you do it by yourself. So the more people we bring into the fold, the little less scary it is and the stronger we are. And so I invite the community to join us, the PS2 Challenge. And if you're looking to support a not-for-profit, consider making a donation to Wear Blue, Rent, Remember. It helps us give back and empower our families of the fallen and continue to support our military veterans and their families.
All right, so I want to be clear, so I understand what's going on. So basically, you guys get together every Saturday and do your regular runs. Is that what I'm hearing?
That is
correct. Then for this 1 week, it's for fallen female, for 177 of them. Correct.
That's correct.
Okay. I just want to be clear that I'm hearing what I'm. Yeah. Okay.
You're spot on.
Right.
That last week of March.
I'm a little slow sometimes, so I just want to make sure.
1 week, no matter where you live, virtual challenge, no cost to join. Commit for your team to collectively log 177 miles in honor of the 177 women who made the ultimate sacrifice since 9/11.
Wow. Yeah. All right. That's amazing. So.
All right. So then I will say also, she does one of the other programs is getting families of the fallen sort of like from the couch to a marathon. And their one of their signature, like I had said earlier, was the Marine Corps Marathon, but also the Rock and Roll Marathon here in Seattle. And so I think that's also key that, even if your service member passed a while ago, her team is really good about pulling out the families of the fallen and getting them re-engaged or engaged in community and in physical fitness. And that is across the U.S.
Yeah, I love that. So we were just at the Cowtown Marathon in Fort Worth, Texas, 2 weekends ago. And we had 10 families of the fallen running their first half marathons in honor of their loved ones. And I was so humbled by their strength and their determination to make sure their loved ones were not forgotten. And if they can face the hardest, the greatest of tragedies and get out there and search to live inspired, to be bold and brave, it's like there's no excuse for me or anyone else to get off the couch and just to live a little bigger, live a little kinder, push a little harder. But yes, so at 4 different races across the country, we train families of the fallen to run their first half or full marathon. And then we build a tribute mile on that course. So we'll be at the Rock and Roll San Diego Marathon. We'll be at the Historic Half Marathon. We'll be at the Marine Corps Marathon, San Antonio. There's images of fallen service members placed in chronological order by date of sacrifice. And they've been requested by the community, by their friends, by their families. And then it's followed by hundreds of volunteers holding full-sized American flags in honor of each of those heroes. So it's remembrance and inspiration all in one space.
Wow.
And so they usually call it the Wear Blue Mile on these different ones. And it's super impactful. There are so many people that come up after they finish and said, wow, that Wear Blue Mile was amazing. I have one little super fast funny story. My daughter Sage cut her hair really short one year. And this was maybe
what's really short, like a buzz cut?
And so we were helping at the Wear Blue Mile, and somebody goes, "You're so handsome." And she turns to me and she goes, "What does that mean?" And I'm like, that you're attractive, honey. Just take it as a compliment.
There's a lot of energy on the mile. The runners are full of life. The volunteers are full of life. And it is great.
Funny. And she was very cute with her super short hair. But it was funny.
She was rocking it. I'm sure of it.
All right. Anything else you want to add today before we go? Lisa?
Not.
Give it idea. When John was killed, it was a pretty scary time, but even more than it was scary, it was pretty amazing to see how the community stood up to support my family, to stand in John's boots, and that I've been able to just bear witness that we really do live in a grateful nation. And so pretty incredible Americans out there who do stand in support of our military, who do want to care for our families, the fallen, and who will always remember our heroes. And I hope that We're Blue Run to Remember can be a place that they can continue to show up for service members, veterans, and Gold Star families. So thanks so much for letting me be a part of your conversation today.
Oh, it was our pleasure. I'm glad you were able to actually get on here so we could actually hear you, because you come across very well. And thank you for being here. And everybody who's out there, if you like what we do here, you want to follow us, let us know. But also go to Wear Blue Run to Remember. Is it Run to Remember? There it is. And donate. If you're not going to do it, at least donate. I'm going to do it, and I donated. So
thanks. That's awesome. I love it. Good talk today.
Amy, anything else?
No, thank you everybody for your time and everything that Ed said, and definitely check out Wear Blue. I love them.
Yeah, and then we'll see you guys on Thursday.